Into the mind of Dan and Dave. Into the mind of Dan and Dave. Into the mind of Dan and Dave.
It's Christmas, yeah. Number one on the chart, Billy Mack.
Billy Mack. Into the mind of Dan and Dave. Into the mind of
All right.
Into the mind of Dan and Dave.
So, welcome to the Dan and Dave Mindset. My name's Dan.
I'm Dave. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, Dave. How you doing?
I'm all right.
All right. So, Dave, what's on your mind?
Actually, this is something that's has always been on my mind. That's basically like the whole
The Great
the Great Depression.
Debate.
No, talking on a phone, on your cell phone,
Yeah.
or texting. What would you rather? Would you rather like have the actual conversation on the phone, or would you rather like text somebody?
It's all context for me.
I agree,
Depends.
but still, I mean,
9 times out of 10, I'd rather just text and get it over with.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I agree with the whole.
Oh, that reminds me. My mom texted me earlier, and I forgot to text her back.
Your mom? I've never. Yeah, okay.
What? Okay.
I've
what?
never seen you text your mom. I've only seen you talk to her on the phone.
Well, usually her text is "call me."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't call her, you mean?
I didn't call her or text. Sometimes I just text her back. This time she was just telling me something. Funny thing is, my mom, she texts in all caps. So it's like she's yelling. She's like, "Call me!"
Which means she probably just means to capitalize the first letter, but it's automatic.
No, I talked to her about it, and she says that she feels that people prefer it when it's in all caps because it's easier to read. And I said, "You mean it's easier for you to read?"
That's right. So the people she means is herself.
Yeah. As I said, I read text all day. They have no caps.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
But like when I not only do I prefer text over talking, because I don't want to talk on the phone. I really do not want to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
And when people will if people actually call me on the phone, and I even recognize their number, I'm like, ugh. It's not that I don't want to talk to you, but it's like, I know you, you know me.
Yeah.
We don't need to have our voices heard. I don't need to hear yours. I just click the letters in, and you know what I mean.
Well, again, I blame technology.
But anyway,
I'll expound on that later.
aside from that, even when it comes to texting, I will text as the least amount of words possible in the text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna Facebook message my mom now. Tell her I got a message. Right, hey, I got your message, but I was at work and forgot to text you back after. Just want to assure you that I am still alive
And well.
and well. I love you.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, no. All right. Sorry. So that's done. So you were saying?
Like if I text somebody, and like I'm just like, I just are we gonna hang out? Blah blah blah. What are you doing? You know. I mean, I'm basically. I get to the point where I'm like,
You get to the point you want to just get to the point.
yeah, like I'll be even like, what up?
Yeah.
You know me. You know I can.
I have many 2-word or less text
I can
messages
speak.
from you,
I
yes.
can speak properly. So if I sit there and write "what up," I mean, what are you doing at the moment? Okay, instead of me writing "what are you doing right now," I say "what up."
I have to say it's slightly unfair though, because you send me this tiny little message, and you expect a wordy response.
What?
You expect details?
When?
Always.
How?
You want to know what's going on. I can't. You say what's up. The only way I can answer short is to be like nothing. But nothing is not really what I'm up to.
Well, but if I say "what up" and somebody say nothing,
Then you're like, what?
Then I'll say,
Let's do something.
Right.
Okay, right. And so this is the problem I have with Tom Flammer, by the way. This is, and he, because he used to call all the time. Like, he would call and be like, yeah, well, he texts now too, but be like, hey, he's like, hey, what's up? And like the stock response would be like, what's up? You're like, nothing. And I learned not to do that anymore. Because I would say nothing, and he's like, hey, well, we got this going on, why don't you come over? And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
So for Tom, it's not nothing, it's I'm busy.
No, my response now is, why?
You got something better?
Yeah, like, why? Well, what do you got going on? What are you doing?
Right.
And now he always calls me out. He's like, what are you doing? It's so wonderful that you don't want to do anything else. I'm like, well, it depends. What do you got going on? I'm very suspicious now when he asks me what's going on. Because he used to rope me into all kinds of things with that. He's like, well, you said you're doing nothing. I'm like, well, it's not nothing to me. It's what I prefer to be doing.
It's nothing compared to what you
It's
expect me to be.
It's nothing in terms of him just being like, not much,
Right, yeah,
like,
I'm busy, but I'm not like,
yeah, I'm busy, but
I'm obviously texting you.
yeah, so I'm not so busy I can't text you back.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm available to do something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's a trap. What's up makes me uncomfortable. Or what up,
Okay.
or
Okay.
yo. Which is another classic Dave text. 2 letters.
That's right. Well,
This
I
is
do that.
The time this man has to text me, he can only spare 2 letters.
That definitely is my shortest. What's going on is yo.
Yeah. Well, then
But the people that know me, even my daughters, know that if I say yo, I'm basically just saying, hey man, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's my hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yo. I'm not asking what you're doing. I don't want you to do anything with me. I'm just saying, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yo.
Is that what that means?
What up is different. What up is,
You're looking for something to do.
yeah. Are you busy?
You've beaten yo, though, with sending a text that doesn't even include any letters. It's just a single question mark.
I've never done that.
You've sent me a single question mark before.
Not on purpose.
No, it's on purpose. I think it's usually when you've sent me a yo or a what up and I haven't gotten back to you in a timely fashion, then I get a question mark.
My bad.
That's okay. I don't mind it a couple hours later. I've had situations where I have had situations where I've received like multiple text messages from somebody, and within 5 minutes, if I don't respond, then there's a question mark, and I'm like,
Yeah.
obviously I'm busy. I would text you if I could. Like, that's the whole point of text, is that it's the easiest way to communicate with somebody, like, without interrupting whatever else you're doing.
Right.
And this is the thing I love about text, is that, I can still communicate some info to you in almost any situation. But like, if I'm not texting you back, I am that busy.
Right.
I'm so busy I can't even text you back right now. So, never fear, I received your text.
No, I know. No,
I'm not talking to you.
I know. No. But I agree, because I know people that have said that to me, and because I will text people, and what's up, blah 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 blah, whatever I send, and I don't hear from them. And if I'm that
bored,
worried, blah 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 blah, whatever, or just anticipating the response,
yeah,
hour and a half later,
give a little nudge.
Yeah, hey, maybe you didn't get it, because sometimes I get texts.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know what I mean? Because I don't have a thing.
Tone?
Yeah, a tone
note?
for it. It just vibrates.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't realize that it did. So.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll get a second one. Oh, I didn't get that first one.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I have, a fairly loud little thing that beeps or whatever, and sometimes maybe I'm in the kitchen, cooking something. I don't hear it. I'll hear one and then realize I've got 2 or 3 messages from somebody. That's happened with you, actually, too.
And then when you were talking about the whole context thing, I mean, there's times where I've texted people who don't know me as well, and I'll say something sarcastic, which usually everything I say is sarcastic, and they respond hurt, like they were hurt, or in a dumbfounded way or whatever. And that's the part where I was, where
Get in trouble.
I'm like, I was just kidding.
It's a joke.
Yeah, JK.
LOL.
That's right.
Smiley face, LOL.
That's right. usually I always will end with like a wink.
Yeah.
Just to show it's joke.
This is another funny thing with my mom. When she was first getting into texting, I would, say stuff or whatever, and sometimes I'm sarcastic sometimes too, and I would include like a smiley face or something like that. It was like a year or two into her texting. She's been texting for quite a while now.
Fluent.
Yeah, she's pretty well, somehow it came up, the whole smiley face thing came up, and she's like, is that what that is? She's like, I thought it was just some random characters the text kept putting on the end of the message. Because mine are usually at the very end.
Right.
And she had no idea it was a smiley face for like 2 years. And, it makes sense because, it's not something she would have run into.
Right.
But I felt kind of bad because I knew there were some things that I'd said that without that smiley face, it's not as nice.
That's
you
right.
know?
It's like not saying no offense at the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I am
No
against...
offense, but...
Yeah. I am against the whole usage of the phrase no offense.
No offense.
Yeah. Which, if we were doing an episode about sayings that we hate, this would be a good one.
No offense.
No offense. So it's like, I realize that what I'm about to say is something that will offend you, but I would prefer that you not be offended by it.
See, I don't use it that way.
That's what it is.
I know, but I don't use it that way, though. When I say no offense, I say no offense sarcastically. I'm serious. When I say no offense,
right.
I'm purposely
Saying
making
something-
fun of you.
Yeah. But you're like, hey, no offense, but here's something very offensive.
That's what
You know?
you're saying.
That's what I'm saying
Right.
is the problem
Yeah,
with that
I don't
phrase
use
in
it.
general.
I know what you're saying, but I don't say, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use it in that.
I've been like, people are like, no offense, are you Mexican? And I'm like, first of all...
Apparently you think there's something wrong with
Yeah.
Mexicans.
Why would you think I would be offended by that?
Apparently
You have a real problem with Mexicans.
That's right.
That's
interesting.
I had that conversation with somebody once. I don't remember who it was, but I think I've disregarded them because I'm like, well, why do you hate
wouldn't it be more polite to just say, are you Mexican?
Yeah. Well, the most polite thing would just be, if you must know, if you have to know,
Right. What
if it's so
ethnicity-
important
what
to you,
ethnicity
what
are
ethnicity
you?
are you? Yeah. Or what is your ethnicity? What's your ethnic background? I'll take any of those. As opposed to the people who are like, what are you?
I've done that before.
Yeah, that's very offensive to people who get asked that a lot. I don't know. It's annoying. Like, dude, come on. We live in a day and age where...
Well, usually I say, where are you from?
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten that one too, where I knew people were... But I knew what they were actually trying to find out.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
And they're like, they want me to be like, Mexico. Which, because I just
you
know...
say America, they're like, no, you're not.
Please. Pull the other one.
I mean, I've done the whole where are you from?
Yeah.
And it was a genuine, it wasn't like a dig or anything like that. It was like, where are you from?
It's not a dig, but it comes from a place of like, your intention is to find out, what the ethnicity is.
What's wrong with that?
Well, just ask the question of what's if you have to know so bad. Then
That's what I did. Where are you from?
But that doesn't always work. Because I've been asked where are you from people who expected me to be from another country.
Gotcha.
And actually, when I was younger, I had asked somebody where they were from because I thought they were from a different country.
I always heard an accent, and then I asked them.
Yeah, and I've used it that way, but it has backfired on me before.
But as far as somebody that just looks...
There's somebody with an
I've
Italian...
approached somebody... I mean, I've done the thing where I've approached somebody and said, you're whatever. And they'll be like, no.
Yeah.
And because usually I'm sort of pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I went up to, like, you were there the one time. We were at Old Chicago, and I went up to this girl, and I'm like, you're Filipino, aren't you?
Yeah.
And
That
she's
was
like, yeah. Huh?
That was the girl and her boyfriend we played pool with,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. But then there was another time we were outside of Buddy's. I went up to somebody and I said,
You're Japanese.
you're Japanese, aren't you? They're like, no.
I'm Korean.
Korean.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. But fortunately, he was Korean, so he didn't take it out on you too hard.
yeah.
If he'd been Japanese and you asked him if he was Korean, you could be dead now. I'm just kidding. for I
I just said onion.
Oh yeah.
And right after that, I said onion. He's like, oh.
Oh, he's like, oh, you speak Korean. I just
No.
know the one word for Arrested Development.
That's right. Yep.
So anyway, that's quite the departure from what we were talking about, texting. What about what about girls? For texting girls or talking to girls?
Texting all the time.
Really? I thought you had an exception though.
Oh, I mean, I will. I mean, if a girl, if I'm talking on the phone, I'll talk. I just don't. I'm not a big. I'm like I'm a man of few words.
Yeah.
So I'm a listener, though. I can listen.
Yeah.
And women can talk. That's for sure. And I will sit there and listen.
Women be
I will be involved with the conversation. Not like I'm just like blah 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 blah. I know what's going on, and I'll
You're like picking some dirt out of the.
That's right. No,
under
I
your
mean,
fingernail.
I'm listening, and I'm talking
You're
back.
engaged in the conversation.
Definitely engaged in the conversation. But as far as like just a continuous conversation on the phone, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a face-to-face kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have like a conversation, because it just like as in text, like even just face-to-face, there's more expression in your face and everything like that as far as when the conversation goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where it gets lost in translation in text, it can be the same way just over the phone without seeing facial expressions, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, text has the danger of not hearing tone and not seeing face.
Right.
I will say, this is like one of my pet peeves with text that I was sort of hinting at before is like I don't mind multiple messages showing up, like my phone beeps like 3-4 times that I got a message and it turns out that somebody wrote a really long message and it came in 4 parts or whatever. I don't mind that. What starts to piss me off is when I've got like a 40 to 50 character message comes in that's not a whole message, and then right after that another 20 characters comes in of a new thought. Like it's just like just somebody who like, I'm gonna call out my brother Ash on this. He's a repeat offender, and he does the other aspect of this, which I don't like, where like if you called me and I didn't answer the phone, it means I can't answer the phone. So don't call me again immediately afterwards,
right,
hoping to get me.
Leave a message.
Leave a message. Or shoot me a text. Even better.
How come you're not answering your phone?
Yeah. I'm busy. Yeah. But, man, like this happened the other day. I was at work. And I couldn't answer the phone. It rang again a second time. And I didn't even look at it the first time because I couldn't do it. But I felt it vibrating, stopped vibrating, felt it vibrating again. I picked the phone up, it's my brother. I'm like, what, is there an emergency? I answer the phone, I'm like, actually, I knew there wasn't. In this case, I went right to like, hey, I can't talk right now. So why are you calling me twice in a row?
I know what you're up to.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I just wanted to chat for a minute. And I'm like, well, I'm busy right now. Like, can you, and he's like, and this is the thing, like, he has this uncanny ability, because I don't eat at regular times. I eat whenever I'm hungry, and it's always a different time. As soon as I'm about to take the food off the stove and put it on a plate, that's when my phone rings, and I know it's him every time, and it is. And I'm like, hey, I'm just about to eat. I'm like, the food is hot right now. I'm trying to put it on my plate. It's time for me to eat that food. And he's like, oh, okay. So, and he goes into something.
Yeah.
And I've talked to him about this, so I don't mind calling him out, because he keeps doing it anyway. I have talked to him about it.
Well, he's probably thinking, well, you answered. I'm going to keep going.
I'm like, I just don't want him to call me back immediately afterwards or send me 80 text messages.
Put the phone on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
anytime my phone rings, I don't want to answer it.
Well, you've learned now, and it took us a while, you've learned now, if I call you...
It's for a purpose.
It's for a purpose, and it's usually just because I'm driving.
Right.
Like, basically, that's it. I know
or it's context.
Yeah, or it's like, or I have a lot to say, and I don't want to type it all out.
Exactly, right.
Because, there's a point at which there's too much information to text it.
Right.
Yeah. But
I take phone calls from very few people.
Yeah.
My daughters, Other than that,
Yeah. But I know that's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. But this is the thing this is what I'm saying. Technology has changed the way that we feel about phone calls. Because back in the day, when it was a phone that was mounted on the wall,
you ran for that.
you ran for it. Yeah. And you're like, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I missed it. You stand by the phone. Maybe they'll call back.
He's like, yeah. I have no idea who it was.
Right.
No caller ID, no answering machines. You're like, who was that?
That's right.
Who was it?
Yep.
Is it important? They'll call back surely they'll call back if it's important.
So
What if they think I'm not home and they're not bothering?
It's a mystery for the rest of the day.
Exactly. It could be weeks later and somebody's like, well, I called you that one time and you didn't answer. You're like, that was you? I was in the bathroom. I couldn't get, But
there was this thing going on down the road and blah, blah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This huge happening going on and you missed it. Seriously.
That happened to you?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
It was like, though, like at the time, I remember, like my friends would call or something, and I lived I lived in a remote area. I didn't have access to my friends like you did, living in a neighborhood. So, like, if a friend called, like, I wanted that phone call, like, and I was a kid too, so it's not like I had anything better to do either.
Right.
But like now, it's like, even though we got to the point where our phones, they're cell phones, they're completely wireless. But it's an investment into your time to take a phone call because that's all you can do while you're on the phone. With texting, we've now learned that we can do all sorts of things while communicating with somebody.
Right.
I can be, cooking, I can writing something, whatever. And I can take these little text messages in between. But now I got to add a phone call on top of that. And I'm like, I have to stop everything to do this phone call. And I think I think technology has ruined our desire to communicate the way we used to. In that way. I know that this is like a well-trod, material, but I've never really heard anybody talk about it quite in these terms. Where it's like it really comes down to the fact that because we know that we could be having this conversation in a more casual and convenient way, it becomes inconvenient to actually have to like put time aside to just focus on the phone call because I could just be texting you and doing what I want to do and not have you interrupt me. At my convenience, talk to you and get back to you back and forth. Mm-hmm. And a conversation that could take 5 minutes on a phone call will take 2 hours going back and forth in text. And I remember when text first came around, like, and myself included, like, I was anti-text because I'm like, and especially when there were no keyboards, I'm like, it takes so long to write this out. If I just called you, we could be done talking about this.
Well, I think a lot of it, too, is boredom. Sometimes you're just bored. You're sitting and, say you're shopping, you're in a store, or you're waiting for whatever, and you're just texting. It's like a game.
Yeah.
It's like a way. It's a way to waste time. I do it all the time.
You're right. Yeah.
Sitting in the doctor's office, you're like, I'm not going to sit on the phone and make a real. Let's text back and forth, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just pass the time like that.
Man, remember we used to read magazines instead.
That's right.
Or like when if you were in the store, you just actually just shop, and then get out of there when you were done. Or, if you were really bored, you would have to just sit and stare at the wall.
Well, I'm a big fake texter, so.
All right, what do you mean?
We've discussed this before. I'll be like in the store and like waiting for somebody to get out of my way.
Oh yeah. Oh,
flip my phone open. I'm like,
that's episode 1, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Act like I'm texting somebody, so I'm not just standing there like a moron.
I think
I've faked phone calls as well. Luckily, my phone has not rung while I was actually faking the phone call.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that did happen to me once.
Really?
Yeah. I've gotten to a point in my life, though, man, where I start telling stories about things that I think I've done, and then I'm like, did this actually happen, or did I just think about it happening, and now it's become an anecdote? And so I'm not entirely sure.
It became reality.
It became, right. So I feel like I've become a bit of a pathological liar, a little bit. I'm not sure. I have things happen where I'm like I have this story that I like to tell about when I worked at Verizon Wireless in the kiosk. We all had little name tags that said manager on them because there always had to be a manager on duty available, which doesn't mean you're necessarily the manager, but you're considered the manager and you have all those powers. So I had my regular name tag I wore that just said, Dan on it or whatever. But I also had one that said Dan, manager. And I am 98% certain that this actually happened. But there's a chance that I just thought about it and hoped it would happen so many times that I created it into a reality. But I'm going to tell it now. The way I tell it is like, this customer came up and was being all rude and obnoxious, and I was the only one working. And they, they got, were getting in my face and getting annoying, and I was, I was not in the practice of being super helpful to those kind of people. Mm-hmm. Like, I would do everything I could do that was allowed, but, I wouldn't ever go out of my way to make them pleased because I didn't want to encourage that kind of behavior.
Right.
And this person was like, you know what, I want to talk to your manager. And so I took off my name tag, grabbed the one that said Dan Manager, and put that one on. And then I'm like, how can I help you?
I'm Mr. Manager.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Manager. But I'm like, yeah. So now I'm a new person. I'm like, oh, how can I help you? And they just looked at me like, oh, and like walked away or whatever, or something. I don't remember now. And then the thing is that there's enough details about the story that I don't remember that I wonder if it really happened.
Can you see yourself doing that?
Yes.
Then it happened.
It may as well have happened.
We'll give that one to you.
All right. I'm pretty sure it happened. But, I mean, that's the thing, too, is there's enough stories of things that I know that I did that I don't remember enough details about. Because,
Everybody does that, though.
Yeah. But anyway, so, what were we talking about? How did I get on that tangent? Something about phone calls or texts. It was related to our main topic.
Of course it was.
Yeah. Well, that's going to irritate somebody.
That's what editing is for.
They'll be like, what happened?
That's what editing is for.
Yeah, but I'm not going to just sit here by myself later and record that part if I'm editing this one alone. Well, hopefully you'll be here and we can edit in we'll record a new little bit and throw it in. What?
I'm trying to think of how we got on that.
You want me to go back real quick?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you do that?
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. See what I'm doing? I'm acting. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that at one point I was pretending to be on a phone call, and and then the phone rang, deafening me for a second, because
Do you remember why you were doing it?
just to avoid talking to someone.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to convince somebody that I was on my way somewhere or something like that. I don't know. I'm like, hello, hey. Yeah, no, I'm leaving now. I'm going to...
Let's call waiting.
Yeah. It has happened so much to the point that I've considered doing that kind of thing again, and I always check and, like, put the phone down on silent before I do that. So I learned a lesson. And like I said, I am 99% certain that I learned that lesson from a real-life event and not just something that I thought about enough to make it real to me. I don't know, though. In my desire to sort of be a hermit and not have to deal with other people anymore, which again it's a complete 180 from when I was a kid, when I would sit on the phone and talk to my friends for hours.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
well, like you were saying before, like you live in like
in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
Right, and like the phone call is like knowing something's going on or whatever. For me, like I did have all my friends around.
Yeah.
And they would always just come and knocking on my door, or I'd go over their house or whatever. So a phone call, to me, was that much more important because it was a phone call.
Yeah.
It was something going on that nobody else knew about. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
It's happening now, and I don't even have time to come get you.
Yeah, it's like somebody from out of town or whatever, that sort of thing. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I did have that, like hanging out, like just being in my house and like. If a phone call did come in and it was one of my friends, it was like, hey, you ready? Okay, I'll be out there in a second. Yeah. That was it. Done.
Be out there in a sec. Oh, because you'd be out and you'd hit up their house or whatever on the way out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if a girl called, I mean, I'd be on there for hours.
Remember that though? You're sitting there for hours, attached to the wall,
Yeah.
or attached to the.
I had a wicked long cord.
Even so, you're limited to where you can go,
True.
and it's like
That's true.
I feel like maybe conversations were just more interesting or something. Well, I don't know.
That's true.
I do have one person I'm capable of talking to for hours now.
Yeah.
Just one though, and that's
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from her, I don't talk to anybody for more than like a couple of minutes if I can help it. If it's business related, that's different. I'll talk to them
Yeah.
while we figure out that stuff.
Yeah.
I will still have occasional 3 hour, 4 hour, like 3 hour conversations are about the max these days, but that happens once in a while. Been a while since I've been interested in that happening, but
Yeah. I still can have the long. I can still have the long conversations.
I
mean,
can
I've done
do
it here.
but
You've seen me do. I mean, you've seen me do it here.
I've seen you do it here talking to me, and yeah, I have seen you. Yeah, on the phone. Which is always interesting to me because I don't know if I'm gone for like 20 minutes on the phone, you're getting impatient.
Well, because I'm your guest.
This
I'm
place
like
is
banging on the wall.
this place is practically just as much yours as it is mine at this point. You've logged in many hours in the Dang Harris Media Studios. You're welcome to the cupboards, to the bathroom.
But I really wish you could make like a doctor's appointments. You probably can,
Via text?
and I probably don't even know it.
I don't know.
Text, order a pizza. Text, that'd be sweet.
You can order a pizza online.
Online, but I don't want to order online. I want to do it from my phone.
Well, if you had a smartphone, you could do it from your phone.
I'm not going to do it. I refuse.
You're going to get a smartphone at some point.
Do you
It's just
have
gonna
one?
happen. No, but it's going to happen. I would have one. I just don't like the idea of paying for all that data.
Yeah, that's my problem.
That's why. But I could do it from my iPod from anywhere with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's the next best thing. I'm
Yeah, that's a totally different show right there. The whole
ordering pizzas.
no, yeah, ordering pizzas. That's a new. That could be a show.
That is a show.
I got some stories about pizza. Let me tell you. 'Cause I used to deliver pizzas.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that
I
about you.
did. I used to deliver pizza, and I got stories.
Wow.
But
I didn't know you had a license.
the whole, the whole like data plan kind of stuff. Yeah, that's another show.
Yeah.
That's how to get you.
I'm in a, like there's the early adopters of like new technology and stuff like that. Like I'm into that idea on one hand, but then on the other hand, I'm like, why do things have to change so much? You know,
They
like
can't. They can't change much more.
but they can and they will.
I mean, in the past like
Have you heard about
10 years.
Yeah. You heard
In
about
the past 10 years, how much they've changed compared to like the past 100 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You heard of this Google Glass thing that's coming out
What's
at some
Google?
point? I'm not sure if it's actually like just a little piece of glass that you hang on to that's like a phone, or if it's glasses that you wear.
They're glasses.
And everywhere, that's what I think it is.
It
but
is.
okay. So everywhere you look, there's like stuff like a movie.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be looking at you and it's like Dave Michon,
reality.
friend.
Yeah. So basically,
I'll look at somebody else. It's like enemy.
yeah, basically, we're gonna end
Terminate.
up we're gonna end up like Wally. You're not gonna need your legs. We're just gonna float around on it. You've seen Wally, right?
Yeah, that's the direction we're going. Wow.
Yeah.
I should have acted like what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously, that's the way it's going.
Yeah, it could happen.
Especially in America. Nobody's
Yeah.
more lazy than an American.
I gotta say, our show has turned into
I'm being general. I'm not saying everybody's lazy. Because I know there's people out there that...
Yeah. I think you'll find that technology has advanced far beyond America and some other countries where you could say that those people have become even lazier. You know, in Japan, you don't even have to use toilet paper anymore. They phased that out a long time ago, but they phased it out in a very electronic and fancy ways now. And in China and all, like Asia in general, and those like you go to the nice hotels there, they've got like 20 different modes to clean your bottom for you.
Yeah, and there's parts of Asia where they just use their hand.
Yes, there are. But
Don't
I'm
don't
talking
even have
about
to waste water.
I'm talking about the technological areas where you like at least we're not so lazy that we can't grab a roll of toilet paper. You know what I'm saying?
There's people out there.
Yeah, but those people were not going to do anything about it anyway, and they were going to walk around being smelly and dirty. So that has nothing to do with. I do have to say, like, our show definitely, like, has the whole, like, anti-technology vibe to it in general. We're like, look
It's
at
not
this.
anti. It's
Anti the social effects of this technology?
no, it's worrisome.
You think?
Worried about the outcomes of such.
Yeah, the social effects.
There.
No, but... yeah. Well, I think you've been listening to the Dan and Dave Mindset.
I think so.
All right. My name's Dan.
I'm Dave. Peace.